Need some help writing user stories? Let's ask ChatGPT. Let's try to write 3 user stories using ChatGPT. So for each, I'm going to type in the prompt template, and then I'm going to type in the prompt example. One includes what you need to fill in to make a great prompt for this type of user story, and the other is an example of that filled in, and that's what I'll ask ChatGPT. So this is a user interface improvement user story. As you can see, I've typed in the prompt, and it's asking for me to fill in certain details to make this prompt best practices for an agile user story. Now I'm going to go ahead and replace that with an actual prompt with the details filled in for a QuickCart Mobile App, a story of enhancing the user interface. And I will ask ChatGPT to help me create the user story. It's giving me some ideation here. So in this case, it's giving me acceptance criteria for different features of the user story. So I think that is helpful, and it's saying by implementing these improvements in the checkout process, we are aiming to improve the customer experience. All right. So basically, the acceptance criteria are what we're aiming for the story to accomplish. So ChatGPT has given us some of those ideas. Let's try it again for a back-end system enhancement user story. Again, in the chat box, I'm going to type in what the user story template would look like. It's asking you to fill in things like the back-end process, the product name, things like that. That would be best practices for describing user story. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in what a filled in user story would look like, improving a database query for a global CRM software. And now we're going to ask ChatGPT to give us some ideas. So, user story and acceptance criteria. Um, so, real time feedback, stability and reliability, documentation, user training, feedback loop, a timeline. So, by meeting these acceptance criteria, ChatGPT is suggesting that we can meet the goals for the story. And acceptance criteria are typically one of the main important aspects, if not the most important aspect, of giving your user story to your team. And let's try it one more time for a feature a development story. And so I'm going to type in the template. This is what you would fill in. These are included with this video. And now I'm going to tell it to draft a user story for developing a multi-currency support that will be added to our FinTech budgeting app. And again, it's giving us these acceptance criteria, which are really how it is defining the story. So in this case, acceptance criteria and definition of done. Again, these are ideas that the product manager can use for the story. So we could also tell it to rewrite the story in a complete format. So you have the ability to use the prompt and be able to have it do what you want it to do. In this case, it just rewrote it. If you wanted to include something else, then you could. Let's do one more thing we can do with this. Mention the user personas. Okay. So again, you customize and ask ChatGPT whatever you want about the story. It's rewriting the story again, and in this case, it's pointing out that in both in the definition of done and in the acceptance criteria, what the user personas are. So this is for ideas for your story. Sometimes it's difficult to think immediately when you have a story what the acceptance criteria should be and what the definition of done should be. I hope you'll try out these prompts and maybe you can get some general ideas for both of these and story writing with the help of ChatGPT. Keep in mind that, of course, this is for draft and ideas only. It's up to the product manager to work with his team and use the proper research to write the acceptance criteria and the definition of done based on the actual users of the product. But this does give you some ideas in just a few seconds that you can think about and may remove some blockers when you're trying to write acceptance criteria or definition of done and trying to think of all of them. I would throw in one more thing while we're on this video, and we can tell it to tell me about edge cases. And this is very useful as well when you're trying to ideate. So unsupported currencies, offline usage, extreme conversion rates, currency rounding, multi-platform consistency. So again, we've used the power of ChatGPT to help us with this story and some ideas. And in this case, we've even been able to type in a prompt for some edge cases. A lot of times it's difficult to think of all the edge cases for stories. Why not ask ChatGPT for some ideas? Of course, you need to go back and invalidate these at their edge cases, but I think that they've given us quite a few good edge cases to consider. All right, thank you for watching this video. My name is Steve Hall, and if you want more ideas on how ChatGPT can help product managers be more effective and efficient and deliver products that customers love, check out my blog at chatgptforpm.com. Thanks.